Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to show you how to make delicious tarragon parsley herb sausages from scratch. The recipe is super simple and all you need is 1200 grams or 2.6 pounds of ground pork from a fatty cut like pork shoulder. You can get this from your local butcher and he can also grind it for you if you're unable to do this at home. You need 400 grams or 0.88 pounds of ground pork fat. You can also get this at your local butcher. Then you need about 5 meter or 16 feet of lamb casing, also from your butcher. Then you also need 100 gram or 3.5 ounces of fresh parsley. You need some dried garlic powder, some dried onion powder, some dried tarragon, dried basil, and optionally dried mushrooms if you have it. And then you need 2.5% of the total mass in fine salt. Let's get straight into it. Making sausages is much easier than it sounds. First, you take your ground pork and ground pork fat and add to a bowl. Then, finely chop your fresh parsley. The easy way to do it is by rolling it before chopping it. This will make it take less cuts in total. Then add the chopped parsley to your ground pork and fat. And now you want to add your dried basil, your onion powder, and your garlic powder, your dried tarragon, and also you cannot add too much of these, it's delicious. Then optionally add dried mushrooms. This is just because we had some lying around, but it is definitely not necessary, but it does add some umami. Then add 2.5% of the total mass of your mix in salt. You do this by weighing your mix and you multiply it by 0.025. Anyway, add your salt and then knead the whole thing until thoroughly combined. This should take about 5 minutes of kneading and will end up looking something like this. Now you want to soak your lamb casing in warm water and let it sit there for about 30 minutes to soften it up and get it ready to be stuffed. After 30 minutes, it looks something like this. It should be more floaty in texture than in the beginning and a bit more separated. Now what you want to do is find the end of the casing. Then you rinse it through with warm water from tap like this. This will even out the casing so it's not twisted and it'll kind of lube up the insides as well. And yes, it doesn't look very flirty, but trust me, it will in the end. Now go ahead and set up your sausage stuffer. You want to lubricate the tip with a little bit of oil to make sure you don't rip the casing and make it slide onto it easier. Then slowly put on your casing just like this. You can put on as much as you want, basically, and just cut it when you run out of stuffing later. Once fully applied to your sausage stuffer, simply start adding your pork mixture to the machine and fill your casing. This does take a little bit of practice, but you'll get a hang of it very fast, like within minutes. Anyway, the main point to focus on is making sure you fill up the casing to the brim, because if you understuff it, it will be too soft and it will lose its structure. But if it is properly filled, you can throw it around without altering its structure at all. Simply keep going until you have one very long sausage that looks something like this. From here, you want to measure out how long you want them to be, about 14 centimeter. What is that, like 3.5 inches? Simply press in where you want it to be separated and then twist them to make a twisted knot that separates it. Once you've twisted all the sausages, you want to tie a knot on either end to seal the deal. Now place them in a tray and leave it in the fridge overnight without any lid on to make them dry up. Once they are dried and they are ready to use, to be grilled and make hot dogs and late night snacks when you're drunk or high, we don't judge. And that's it. That is how you make your own sausages. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe for more hot dog content and watch our video on homemade fluffy hot dog buns so you can really impress your family and friends at your next barbecue. Bye bye.